CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a police investigation at Saunders Secondary School after several fights broke out and a fire extinguisher was unloaded indoors. With more on the chaos and the fallout, here's Brian Bicknell.
Video appears to show a fire extinguisher go off in what students describe as an art room. Fire suppressant fills the room on 2 floors.
It was so foggy. Like, you couldn't see a single thing.
What was it like to be in that room?
Man, it smelled really bad. You can't really breathe. And it was pretty scary, man. It was just out of nowhere.
Hey! Oh, shit.
A group of students can be seen through heavy fog involved in an altercation with another student.
There was this group of guys going to jump this one kid. And he was trying to, defend himself. He got the fire hydrant, started spraying that, or not the fire hydrant, the extinguisher. He started spraying that, and then I don't know what happened. I think it exploded or something because the whole first floor was all covered.
People swarmed the kid who sprayed it, and he tried to defend himself using the extinguisher, but it was a mess. People everywhere, and then it went and led up to the upstairs, and then that's when the real fighting started happening.
Several other videos show fighting in a hallway with a number of students involved. Video shows firefighters responding. London police say the incidents are under investigation, but couldn't say if any charges have been laid or if anyone was hurt.
Some guy got hit and right here, and now he has a huge swollen goose egg on his eye with the fire extinguisher. It was really bad. It was purple. He was bleeding a little bit, and he was stumbling all over.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did the ambulance come?
No, he got taken by a friend.
A statement from the public school board says it's aware of the altercation. The students involved are not present at the school today, and they're subject to the same code of conduct followed by all Thames Valley schools, and they'll be disciplined according to policies and procedures. The statement went on to say that families have been made aware and additional staff and supports are available to any student impacted by the experience.
I really think that all the stuff that goes around about these incidents paints a bad image on the place and makes people think that it's not really a safe environment. But honestly, the classes here, the programs are so extensive that everyone's getting the education that they want.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Officials with the Middlesex London Health Unit say they've been targeted by a cyber attack. They say it happened yesterday and they immediately deployed countermeasures. According to a media release, regular phone lines and software systems remain offline while experts work on restoring the systems. It also indicates in the event officials determine any personal information is impacted, any affected parties will be contacted accordingly. Officials at LHSC are hailing the arrival of a portable MRI machine. For now, it's primarily making a difference in the neurosurgery department, but as Sean Irvin reports, that's far from its full potential impact.
It was inside a doctor's office like this one that Owen Sound resident Dave Evans discovered why his vision was fading. Dave had initially put the loss down to another health condition and aging.
Best analogy I have is if you have a TV set and it diminishes by 1% a month, over the course of a couple of years, it's significant, but you don't notice any immediate changes.
But Dave's doctor wondered if something more was amiss.
And he did further testing, which brought to light the pituitary growth.
Dave was told he had a slow-growing tumor that would require delicate brain surgery. This LHSC neurosurgeon knew it would be a challenge. His team was tasked to remove the core of the tumor, the size of the average human thumbnail, from Dave's head. He likens the procedure to draining an eggshell.
But we don't want to violate the boundaries of the eggshell because on both sides the carotid arteries are there, and then on the top are the nerves that transmit information from the eyes to the back of the brain.
And that is where this new portable MRI comes into play. It gives surgeons an immediate review of their work and lets them know if they missed any part of the tumor.
So we can evaluate in the operating room, have we gotten what we had intended to get? And is there any residual that we can get easily and safely before we close?
Dave was one of the first patients to benefit. The MRI caught a small amount of the tumor that the surgeons had not seen. They were able to go back in immediately to remove it.
Eliminating a potential repeat surgery, I think that's a game changer.
Dave tells CTV News he experienced gratitude for the health team and the portable MRI system mere moments after waking up in the recovery room.
And I realized how much better my eyesight was already, even just the day of the surgery.
Following 6 procedures in neurosurgery, the portable MRI has now been made available to the broader hospital team. The possibilities are said to be endless. In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Researchers in London have joined an effort to ensure HIV treatments can help as many patients as possible. With more on that, here's Jerry Dewan.
Recent breakthroughs have researchers confident they are on the precipice of seeing a cure for HIV, but Professor Eric Arts wants to avoid a repeat of what happened when HIV therapies were developed in the mid-1990s.
It's a horrible stain on humanity.
For nearly a decade, people in wealthy nations saw lifespans extended dramatically, while those in poorer countries continued to be ravaged by the virus that causes AIDS.
Almost 10 million people died of HIV simply because they weren't provided the same care and treatment.
A visit to the Western Campus last year by Ugandan HIV/AIDS researcher Dr. Sisi Kityo-Mitalusa resulted in a strategy designed to ensure economically disadvantaged countries would get similar access to a cure than wealthier nations would have. The public-private partnership is called the Immunequity Initiative, bringing together researchers from different disciplines to achieve the best possible outcomes.
This was an ideal opportunity to combine the work we're already doing in biomedical engineering with basic work that Dr. Arts is doing in immunology, and of course to work for a very high impact goal, and a cure for HIV. The first time I heard that, I thought, oh wow, and now I'm sure it's coming.
Canadian businesses and education centres continue to build out their ability to do game-changing research. One example is the new Pathogen Research Centre under construction here on the Western Campus. While the $44 million facility is a welcome addition, Arts has concerns about cuts being made to international aid programs.
Given the fact that G20 countries are just not willing to provide the same support anymore, we need to do something fast. If we stop treatment, at least 500,000 people would die within the first year.
The Immunequity Initiative team also wants to see other nations bolster their own economies through research and development programs. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Back in January, London City Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa announced she had recently undergone surgery for breast cancer. And now, as her chemotherapy begins, she's sharing that health journey with CTV News. For more on this, I'm joined by Daryl Newcomb. And Daryl, this will be an ongoing project that you're going to be working on.
That's right, Carlyle. This will be a periodic months-long series. Its intent to allow Councillor Pelosa to share her own experience in her own words. This morning, she invited us as she prepared for the impact chemotherapy will have on her hair.
I know. Okay. This haircut really wasn't a choice. It was a necessity. I know the hair's going to be gone in a couple of weeks. Reading different things about when to cut it, how to cut it, when to shave it. Emotionally, I'd rather wake up to a couple inches of hair on my pillow versus an entire handful. So just trying to do it now by choice versus waking up in sadness. Wow.
First step in a big change.
Absolutely, it's going to be a big change. I hope that, one, people are proactive and get their testing done. Book your mammograms. Since the last coverage, a lot of people are reaching out that they've never had one done, that they're afraid to have one done, that they're afraid to find out what it might mean, the results might be, but it's more scary not to have a chance to fight because you waited too long. Hoping that we can destigmatize what it is to have cancer, what it is to go through chemo.
You're gonna rock this?
Men, you can look at them and they're bald, they've shaved it, they've gone bald, whatnot, and it's like, oh, he's still handsome, but that same beauty standard doesn't really seem to extend to women. I still have 2 events coming up that are scheduled. My newsletter is going out soon, so just making sure that residents know I'm still here, just in person. I'm going to look quite different. Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that I need to acknowledge that things are not in my control. That doesn't go easily for me. My engagement with community is going to look a little bit different for a while. more text versus phone calls, finding some issues with the esophagus already hurting and some trouble swallowing.
It looks good.
Thank you.
And that's the
unbiased hairstylist.
I was like, no, it's just
better than I thought. I think that's the most positive person could be, that it was a choice I made. I'm happy with it. I think it looks all right.
My role is to film and edit this series, but that's where my involvement ends. This is Elizabeth Pelosa's story to tell, and you can find a lot more content on our CTV London website, including an opportunity to provide feedback and ask questions. We'll choose the best and share them in future stories. Carlyle.
Thanks very much, Daryl. A controversial beachfront development in Port Elgin may not get built after all. Municipal officials in Saugeen Shores say they're considering terminating the lease because of missed construction deadlines. Scott Miller reports.
A multi-million-dollar waterfront development meant to transform Port Elgin's beachfront could be coming to an end before it really got started.
Pretty surprised. And I'm proud of council for making a tough decision, but it had to be done.
After years of showing support for the private beachfront commercial development, the town of Saugeen Shores is threatening to pull the plug on it for missing construction deadlines. A comprehensive review of the Cedar Crescent Village project and its associated agreements has been completed. Consequently, the town is now taking steps to assert its rights under the lease and site works agreement, which includes the town's right to terminate the lease. A 50-year land lease was signed between the town of Saugeen Shores and the developers of Cedar Crescent Village in 2019. Building permits for the proposed retail stores, restaurants, and beach viewing deck were issued in March of 2023. After little progress was made on the ground, construction extension was granted in February of 2025, with partial completion expected by February of 2026. That hasn't happened. The proposed site, located meters away from Port Elgin's beach, has construction fencing, but little else, which has prompted the town's pursuit of lease termination.
It's hard to know at this point just how long it could drag out. It would be nice if everybody shook hands and said it's not going to work. The proponent has had lots of opportunity to meet deadlines, and month after month, year after year has gone by, and it just hasn't happened.
The move comes after years of public support for the project by Saugeen Shores. Last February, Mayor Luc Charbonneau says he was looking forward to the project being completed.
It's a 50-year lease, and it's going to be an extra 10 months, and in the context of a 50-year lease, another 10 months isn't all that long.
We spoke to Cedar Crescent Village developer Pierre Denini, who was unable to meet our deadline for comment. Corrigan Frank says she's eager to see the proposed development site cleaned up and the town move on to other waterfront ideas. Whatever the ultimate outcome of the Cedar Crescent Village is, Saugeen Shores says they are still very much interested in some sort of development here along Port Elgin's waterfront. In Port Elgin, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The International Women's Day breakfast was held this morning at RBC Place.
There was legislation on the books in Ontario that allowed for women to be incarcerated for not having committed a crime, for just subjective misbehavior. So when I read that, that was just infuriated me.
The event included a conversation with Canadian author Heather Marshall discussing her work and its real-life inspiration, focusing on the failings of the political and justice systems for women. The Women's Day breakfast is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the London Abused Women's Centre.
We need to continue to provide immediate access to service. So if a woman calls in or walks in, she can speak with somebody right away, within the same week, whatever works for her schedule. That's first and foremost. That's number one.
A blowout win for the London Knights tonight against the Erie Otters. That was Ryan Brown's 21st goal of the season, the most among any Knights players this year. London ran up the score against Erie, who are likely going to miss the playoffs this year, sitting near the bottom of the OHL standings. And for the second time this season, London reached double digits on the scoreboard. Final score, Knights 10, Otters 2. And these two teams play each other again tomorrow night in Erie, Pennsylvania. Later on CTV News, classically Canadian or exclusively Quebecois, the fight to formally recognize the cheese curd as culturally distinct. Canada's stock market fell more than 520 points today as the price of oil broke $90 a barrel. The TSX lost 526 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 453. The Nasdaq fell 361. The Canadian dollar up a third of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained $80 an ounce and oil added almost $10 a barrel. The widening conflict in Iran is trapping more Canadians in the region, many of whom are desperate to leave, seeking help from the federal government. With more on the assistance available to them, here's Judy Trin.
More than a dozen countries have been drawn into the war, putting thousands of Canadians in the line of fire, including this couple stranded in Doha.
We saw one projectile just above our head and big bang. And that was followed by another 3 or 4 bangs.
The war is widening. The U.S. and Israel are intensifying airstrikes against Iran and militant groups in Lebanon and Iraq, while the Islamic Republic has retaliated against 10 neighboring nations that are American allies. Of the more than 108,000 Canadians registered in the Middle East, 3,500 people have requested help from Global Affairs to leave.
Step by step, we are ensuring that Canadians can leave through 3 means, either through our chartered flights, through block bookings on existing airlines, and by ground transportation.
The bombing has intensified in Lebanon as Israel targets Hezbollah, while the majority of Canadians are stuck in the United Arab Emirates. One charter flight and seats on several commercial airlines have been organized to get 460 people out of Dubai and Beirut. But the Canadian Armed Forces hasn't yet been asked to step in, but they are assessing the circumstances.
We do not have any such request yet, nor have we moved major assets like ships or airplanes.
The military does have the resources to evacuate Canadians if needed. In 2006, almost 15,000 people were evacuated from Lebanon under Operation Lion.
Well, there were military and foreign affairs officials working together, working alongside others that were called into the mission. And it happened very quickly. It happened literally within days. We were able to mobilize.
Bus transportation leaving Qatar to Saudi Arabia has also been arranged for about 200 people. The federal government says Canadians will have to pay for those seats on buses and flights leaving the war zone. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has wrapped up his 9-day trip across the Pacific, signing a new partnership with Japan. With more on that agreement and how the upcoming North American trade negotiations could create complications, here's Abigail Beeman.
Japan welcomed Prime Minister Mark Carney with O Canada, while Carney offered up some Japanese. Like in India and Australia, the Prime Minister is trying to show the Indo-Pacific Canada has what the world wants. In Japan, that's Canada's energy, especially LNG, and food.
We do much, but we're ready to do much more. And that's a common theme of our government. So my government was elected with a clear mandate to build boldly with a speed not seen in generations.
Canada and Japan announced a new strategic partnership boosting trade, energy, and defense.
We need to be doing a lot more with Japan and with Korea when it comes to understanding the threat from China and Russia to Canada's, basically Canada's western part of our Arctic.
Kuzma is very important part of the calculation.
But nearly 3/4 of cars made in Canada are Japanese, providing thousands of Canadian jobs. And Japan is watching the review of the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement closely.
I think that is the critical condition. Because Canada is, of course, a G7 country. Your GDP is one of the top 10 countries. $2.5 trillion. But you know the size of the U.S. market, 30 trillion.
And I think the Prime Minister laid out this evening during his meeting with Prime Minister Takaichi that Canada is in a pretty solid position. Of course, the negotiations will start formally with the United States in the weeks and months ahead.
The Prime Minister has a host of business meetings Saturday, including with some of the big Japanese automakers. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Tokyo.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. We're tracking the next weather maker that will bring in a soggy start to your weekend, and it's a two-parter. So along the warm front here, we are going to see our temperatures actually climb overnight tonight with some scattered rainfall. But tomorrow, as the cold front pushes through, there is a chance for some thunderstorms and heavy rainfall for parts of southwestern Ontario. I'll break it down for you on the other side of this break.
Welcome back with Rita on the desk now. After a cool start to the weekend, it does feel like it kind of warmed up throughout the day, and it sounds like it's actually going to improve as we go through the weekend.
Absolutely. It will improve, especially today. We had overcast, some drizzle as well, our high 8 degrees, but that wasn't during the day. We actually reached that late into the evening. Now, as we head into the night, we're going to hover around that 8-degree mark. And that's because we have a warm front that's approaching, and along that frontal boundary, our temperatures are climbing. Normal this time of year is 2 degrees, the record 13 degrees in 1983. Record low minus 22 in 1948. Now, you can see that low pressure system will move through overnight tonight. The first part is that temperature climb. So we're going to see our temperatures into the mid-teens on Saturday, and we will have some rainfall throughout the region. The bulk of the moisture appears to be in Midwestern Ontario. As it starts to move, though, we will tap into that here in London. So you could see heavier rainfall, embedded thunderstorm activity throughout Grey Bruce and Huron and Perth. For us in London, just rainfall overnight tonight, and then tomorrow intensifying. You could really see that cold front boundary crossing through around noon tomorrow, and again embedded thunderstorms. That's that deeper yellow orange along the northern shores of Lake Erie. Will pick up a lot of moisture. It will be quick to move out by the afternoon, late evening, but we'll have some wraparound showers Saturday evening. Good news in behind it, a bit of a break from the rainfall. We are expecting a mix of sun and cloud to mainly sunny conditions throughout southwestern Ontario, and our temperature will be around 10 degrees on Sunday, so very spring-like. Tomorrow morning, though, that is going to be the issue for us. We will have strong gusty winds out of the southwest, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, and then climbing throughout the day. From 5, we jump quickly to 10 and then 18 degrees. That's the forecast high. I don't know if we'll get quite to that mark with all the overcast, but again, the warmth is all thanks to the low pressure system, and as that warm front pushes through, we'll see us climb in temperatures. Sunday, though, nice and comfortable at 10 degrees, mix of sun and cloud, drying out nicely for Monday as well. 15 degrees, beautiful spring-like conditions Sunday through to Tuesday, and then rainfall returns Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. Our temperature flopping a little bit to the freezing mark for the high on Thursday, and then recovering nicely to 7 degrees a week from today. Midwestern Ontario, you do have a rainfall warning due to this system, and of course you have a lot of melting snow up there. 20 to 30 millimeters expected from this low pressure system on Saturday. Heading into Sunday, nice and dry, 10 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. Beautiful day on Monday to kick things off, 14 degrees, and then we drop back down to 9 Tuesday and Wednesday. The next chance for showers will, of course, arrive midweek. Carlyle?
Rita, local First Nation leaders held an inaugural hockey tournament today at Earl Nichols Arena. The organizers say for the kids involved, it's about much more than just a game.
We have 120 students participating in our tournament across 4 schools. Plus, we also have an additional maybe 500 fans in attendance, elders, parents, supporters, just people coming to have a great time.
The importance of having this event in our community is to show the sportsmanship in regards to all of our nations. It's also coming down to health and wellness, to the opportunities for our kids to express. It does go a long way in regards to wellness to our community to take care of themselves on a regular basis.
Some kids don't get these opportunities. Some kids, whether it be financial or whether it be physical, geographical, some can't make it to the games. But we're providing this opportunity through our schools so that they can feel what it feels like to be part of a team, build that camaraderie, build that communication, and just have fun and share a great day with everybody. The City of London also helped us. So we have good relationships. They have good partnerships with Oneida overall, and we're trying to build upon that year by year. And just for reconciliation, when we talk about that, we want to reconcile. We want to have and build those relationships with our communities.
Just in regards to community, it supports our community to see the smiles on the kids and see them have fun. And also thank you to the parents, the aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers for bringing the kids here today. It's a great time to see them smiling and having fun. There's no worries about them today. It's just to see them laughing and smiling.
Finally tonight, a simmering culture war over a claim to a key ingredient in one of Canada's most famous comfort foods. Josh Moreno has more on the special distinction Quebec dairy farmers are looking for when it comes to their cheese curds.
At St. Albert Cheese, just east of Ottawa, bags of fresh cheese curds are flying off the shelves.
It's these cheese curds I love.
For Dave Veldstra, it's a tasty tradition. His yearly trip to the region isn't complete without this one purchase.
We're down from London, and every time we're down here, we stop here to pick up the fresh cheese curds.
But the iconic squeaky cheese that has people lining up is now at the center of a debate over poutine's key ingredient.
It's a good news because everybody's talking about cheese curds and poutine, so that's good.
Quebec dairy producers want special acknowledgement. They are pushing for a protected geographical indication, recognizing Quebec curds as the traditional ingredient tied to poutine, similar to how only sparkling wine from France's Champagne region can be called champagne. But for Eric Lafontaine, Director General of St. Albert Cheese, the proposed idea doesn't cut it.
It's not fair that it's only going to be a control name in Quebec and not the rest of Canada when the rest of Canada has been doing that product for a long time.
Lafontaine says his biggest worry is how the label could dampen long-term sales worldwide.
It's the longer term that we're more concerned because they want to export that poutine name everywhere else in the world. And for us, we think that St. Albert should be part of it because we're the biggest one and the oldest one.
And the best, according to Veldstra. He'll continue to buy his cheese from St. Albert.
Just the freshness and squeakiness of them isn't like any other.
Josh Moreno, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good weekend.